Hey, what's up guys? This is another update on the 1165A project and we got a lot done. The biggest notable thing is, hey, we got the sunroof in, and I'll go into that later, probably maybe in another video. We also got a gun shield for it, and the most important part is these guys. We got brand new body mounts. All 6 have been replaced. So I'll start with the body mounts, then we'll go into the other fun stuff. So Steve and one of his shop assistants installed all 6 for me. There's the blue ones and the black ones. You want to get the black ones. You don't want the blue ones. They'll last probably like 5 years, but then they'll kind of disintegrate. The back ones are easy. There's a total of 6. The side ones are a little bit tougher. They're right there. And then the ones in the front are an absolute bitch. I would not advise trying it at home. They're in there. So the black ones are extremely durable. So I got 3 black ones. One is on this side in the middle, and then the 2 front ones, they're much more durable. The blue ones is basically we're going to get everywhere else. These guys, that's what's all that blue crumbling. That's going to be 2 on the back. These are really easy to replace. The other 2, not so much, and then those are near impossible. So I recommend you have someone else install them unless you're a madman. The mounts themselves are maybe like 200 bucks. I got a whole bundle deal with the labor all included, so I couldn't tell you what they actually cost to install, but it probably took 2 people, 2 hours, something like that, and some very creative technique. So those are the body mounts. You're getting a ECV truck. I'm sorry to tell you, those will have to be replaced. Steve told me he got a all original. I mean, seats were still wrapped. Everything was brand new, hadn't been touched. 7 miles, 7 miles on the odometer. Everything was still bagged, still had the labels on it. Never been used. The mounts were already rotted. They're already rotted. Like you can tell. Before these were replaced, when I got it, it was just blue flaking. You could just do this and it was all there. Everywhere you park, you'll see a blue little puddle of that kind of just shards, or like chunks. They're just chunks of that blue body mount. It's just deteriorated. You get an ECV truck, you don't have to worry about on the 998s, the 1123s, any of the Gen 3 and down. The Gen 4 and Gen 5 ECV series, you're going to have to replace those body mounts. That's the first thing you should do. The reason why, you get critical failure if you don't replace these, which are the hardest to do, with the alternator wiring harness that goes between the firewall. If your body mounts aren't in good shape, basically, if you personally have not replaced them, or the previous owner has not replaced them, the government will not replace them. None of these ECV trucks coming for auction have good body mounts, sorry. You're going to have to replace those body mounts unless you want your entire alternator electrical harness, especially on these 400 amps, chafing, and then your truck going up in flames. So that number 1 priority is something you want to do. Also, just try to get under there and really check your wiring harness on your alternator. See if it needs to be done immediately, cannot drive, or if it's something that, hey, this is coming really close contact, or there's already starting to be some wear. Do that. While we're kind of in here, the other rubber components you're going to want to replace, just right off the bat, are these mounts. These were completely, they didn't even exist. Get some of that masking tape off. These are super cheap though, and they're really easy. So body mounts got done. Second thing, check out this cool little sunroof up here, huh? Got insulated. Steve hooked me up with this. This is the newest system they're going with. This is the newest military adapter ring. You're gonna need an adapter ring for anything you put a turret in. Doesn't matter if it's an MRAP or a Humvee, you're gonna need an adapter ring. So this one is for the aluminum roof. Since this is an 11 series truck, you're gonna want the correct roof adapter for the aluminum roofs. This is the newest 36 bolt. Okay, so there's 36 bolts that go all the way around this thing compared to the old style, which is the 12 bolts. The 11 series have the geared ring. The old 10 series just has holes in the side. Reason for that is this guy's got a crankshaft. So when this is engaged, I've disengaged it because I had to do a couple things. Hand crank, it'll turn around really easy. Super nice. It's much better than the 11 series turret. The 11 series turret is absolute dog shit compared to this 11 series turret. I have owned both. The 11 series is so much nicer. It also has a locking hand stop over there, similar to the 11 series. The difference is that if you're on a slope, if you're doing something, if your driver is driving the vehicle and you need to move your turret, you can actually do that. With the 11 series, you just slide to whatever side that you're turning on, and it's a nightmare. You have to twist your body and all this other weird shit. So this is really cool. This also interfaces, and this geared ring interfaces with the motorized kit, with the BTMU that you can get. So you can actually have this motorized and controlled from a joystick, which is really cool. Then I picked up this very nice Humvee seat, this gunner seat for $100. Nice thing about it, it's got these release tabs. If your gunner gets shot and is fucking bleeding, like you can't get him down, you just release that and his body slumps on the floor. You can get someone else up there. So quickly get bodies out of the turret if they so happen to die. Really cool feature. It's also handy if you're trying to move machine guns up there. You want to drop that so it's not connected, so you've got more room to load equipment up to the turret. So this is the turret itself. I had wonderful people over there install it. You can tell that it's been sealed very well. It's got brand new seals on it, brand new turret hatch seal, all that good stuff. You might have also noticed that it's got the original whiskers, which is really nice. Apparently these kind of curl up. You can see the back, or technically the front, is starting to do it. So we'll see how they go. The purpose of these whiskers is to keep 50 cal casings, 7.62, whatever, out from underneath the turret so it can still spin freely. The turret hatch is the trifold, which is the newest thing that they have, but the slam latch is definitely something I'm looking to upgrade when I get my gunner protection kit. I'm looking on getting an OGBK trainer. The reason why is I want aluminum chicken shield, aluminum gunner protection kit. As you might have noticed right now, I'm renting, but the garage height is pretty small. I mean, this barely fits in with the turret on top. So I want something that can fold down easily and doesn't weigh that much. But I also want the gunner protection kit. Therefore, the trifold doesn't have anything to lock it back, so it rests on the protection kit, which puts a lot of wear on it because it's steel. So the best way around that is to get the slam latch, which holds it open in the back. So the chicken shield, took it off for the first time today. Bitch is heavy. I mean, that thing's like 300 pounds. That's ridiculous. It's angled armor. It's like 1/2 inch. It's steel. It's got the UPA riser and all that fun stuff. And it's in Kark, so that's cool. I did an airsoft event previous weekend. So I had the 240 right over here. This is the 240 that I mounted to it. I got this cool 240 cradle that just pops right in there. But that was a lot of fun. Worked great. It's nice getting to experience and use equipment like that because you're able to provide combat critique or under stress or actually in use, what's working, what's not working, and address those problems to be able to improve it. So those are the two major things I've got done since the last update. The other thing you might have noticed here, which I'll do a separate video on, is this cool VIC-3 system, which you can't really see because it's dark as balls in here. But I got 4 headsets. We got the intercom thing. It's all routed up. It's super cool. I got a Bluetooth wireless box for it so I can listen to Ellie Goulding and The Weeknd through this headset equipment. So it's pretty cool. So the not so cool part is the thing I'm doing right now, which is why I got the doghouse cover off in the first place. Something that's much needed every Humvee. You're going to have to do it. And if you don't do it, you're going to need to do it. And it's always good to have Ta-da, a grounding harness. I know this is super exciting, but I tell you what is also super exciting, having your Humvee work and your gauges read like somewhat accurately and not fail, and having your starter start the engine. All that stuff is really cool. Cooler than a turret, cooler than a VIC system, possibly cooler than body mounts, but it's something no matter what model you get. I mean, you do this on antique cars, you do it in Humvees. I mean, anything, guys. You need a grounding harness. This one I got from Damage Control Customs. They're, I think his name is Rob. Could be wrong on that. He's in Georgia. Very nice guy. He's very active on Facebook. He got me I think Augie is the name of the person who actually made those Bluetooth VIC-3 things. If you want a VIC-1 or a VIC-3 system, go to him. Really cool dude. And then I also got this from him. So this is what I'm installing. I'm trying to figure out where to put it on, because the mounting for it should be under the doghouse cover, or the turbo cover, but the turbo cover is still got like a lot of sand on it. So I'm going to clean all this up, which is why I've got that and some cleaning pads. Before I do the electrical install, because this is the only part that I haven't thoroughly rinsed off and cleaned off of all that bullshit that's on it. So once the supplemental grounding harness is installed, I'll move on to something else. I got so many things I need to do. I need to redo the doors, the hardware. This door, I had 2 doors pop open on me while I'm driving. And literally, I had the passenger door pop open on a trip back. The car next to me could have ripped it off easily if they were inches closer. They just would have ripped off the entire door. I would have had to go through an entire insurance claim thing. It was a nightmare. So I need to fix these doors. The problem is that over time, I've had a lot of people get in this, and they'll use the door and they'll put their body weight in it to try to get in the vehicle, and it causes it to shift, which means that it doesn't close. Well, that one did, but mainly that one over there. Not calling out anybody, but I got to redo that. But I've tried adjusting these X doors has been an absolute bitch. I've done it so many times. Some of this hardware is completely stripped because it's just like Phillips machine screws. I don't know who thought that was a good idea. So we're changing them to bolts, readjusting that door over there, and this one over here, and that one over there. The driver's door is the only one that's been perfect. At some point, I need to touch up the paint around the door trim. I still got to reinstall the data plates I took off. This switch failed because it wasn't rated for 24 volts. Oops. When the LED inside burned out, I probably should have taken that for an indication. So I got to replace this with a switch that I already have. I've got a lot of parts already. Then I've got 3 leaks on this guy. On the way down to Steve's shop in South Florida, it was 8 hours of driving. So it was a lot of driving. Developed a small leak, and then that's not good. I'm looking at, you can see that. That looks like it might be coming from this leak that's here. And splashing up there, that's probably exactly what that's from. You can tell on the inside of the tire, you've got some there. That comes from an input seal that is leaking, and I think this is the worst case of it on this front tire. Those 2 are bone dry. These 2 have small leaks, and then I've got the pinion thing that's also developed a leak. So to remedy that, we have seals and parts of all sorts. This is the pinion thing. I got a new bolt for it. Some weather stripping, some additional shit. Some senders, wires, other stuff. Packages from Mac Motors. I don't think I've even opened. Still gotta do the oil filter. There's always something to do. But this is pretty much just the last stuff. And then, of course, things will break on it. But met this really cool guy. And he was... he literally loves working on these Humvees. That's what he did for probably like 10 years. So he's going to come in. He said he would just love to work on this thing. So we're going to redo all the input seals, all the output seals, the real differential input. It's the pinion gear, that input seal. we're redoing all that. And then I've also got, because I got word that these back insulation mats are not going to be available for much longer. There's going to be a shortage of them or whatever the case is. So I redid the front and I love how those turned out. So I got the two to redo the back. Even though they're okay, I still want to have that nice refurbished look throughout this entire thing. So that is what I'm going with there. So I'm going to get to work. It was just kind of an update. I figured I did a lot. So if you guys want, I can do the turret as a separate video, and then we can get into the VIC-3 light system as another video as well, because those are really cool, interesting things. In the meantime, I'm going to put on and clean up this doghouse and put in the grounding supplemental harness. So thank you guys for watching, and hopefully I got another update or featured video for you guys soon. Thank you guys so much for watching. See you in the next one.